Okay, hello everyone. Round one against Mr. Vlad Olivar. I lost the die roll, and I think this hand's fine. Dang it, I forgot about the turn and burn bug. I've got plenty of lands and some early removal. A lot of big spells, but most of my deck is removal, so I think it's fine to keep this hand. Again, we're against mono red, so we immediately get punished by having a 6-drop and a X spell in our hand. Druid is a static caster, though. That's very good. Won't help against like a It's very good against Firefish Striker, but it won't help against like a bunch of 2/2s, other than blocking one. But that should be good enough until I can get Ralzeric online. Drew another Ralzeric. Oops. I'm just gonna pass turn and burn his Cackler, likely, at end of turn. If he plays an Ash Zealot, I'll burn that. Okay. His Firefish Striker is making his Ash Zealot, I think. No, okay, fine. You gotta get as many creatures being unable to block as you can, I think, when you're playing Firefish Striker. There's no added value to making your Cackler be unable to block. You gotta spread the love around. Okay. This is pretty awkward. I'm just gonna play a Staticaster this turn because I don't want to take extra damage, whereas Gilgate would let me to play a Ralzerek next turn, but I would take much more damage in doing so. This does make my Staticaster die to Electrickery or Mugging, but I think it's still worth it since I'm trading 1 for 1, if that happens. Okay. First time I played with Staticaster, I immediately clicked through it and just pinged the creature I was trying to block and didn't do anything. So, if you play this deck, I'd advise to watch your steps. What did he just do? Oh, he just mocked it. That's fine. I should have thought about that. I forgot they played that card now. It's unfortunate. So my Staticaster died and my Firefish Striker is dead. Though I think I'd do it anyway, because if he's a mocked, I take 3 extra damage. I don't know, it's hard to say. I'm not sure what's right there. I just assumed his hand was removal. Does Ash sell it? No? I don't know what he's thinking on. I just have to try to remove his creatures. I don't have life gain in this deck, unlike an an Esper deck, like Sphinx's Revelation or anything like that, so I have to try to... Ooh, that's pretty painful. So I take 5 here, and then I get to Ralzerek his Madcap skills. I'm gonna cast away to get his Firefish Striker. Go to 4. Hopefully he doesn't have Ash Zealot. Okay. The original list had Electrickeries on the board, which is actually pretty good against this deck, but I don't like Electrickery in this format because Mono Red's a little less popular now. So I took them out in favor of cards for control, which I think I'm weaker to. But I think it's going to punish me since... Okay, I'm just going to kill this guy with my Ralzerek. Depending on what I draw. Yep. And I'm just going to Rakdos Return for his hand. That way I don't have to deal with any of the cards he has. And that way if he draws lands, he can't cast anything as well. Okay, I assumed he had like some sort of 3-drop in his hand, but apparently not. Okay, he drew a mountain. That's the weirdest bug. I think I commented on it last time. I'm gonna pass until I can leave open Syncopate and Ralzerek. Because I don't have any removal in my hand other than Ralzerek, and I'd rather take extra turns with him. So I'm just gonna keep passing until I draw a land. Use the counter spells to save my life total. Like, I think even Syncopate for 1 would be enough in most cases. Keep drawing counter spells. I don't know what he's drawing. Maybe Dynacharges or something like that. I'm going to counterflux this one. since it costs more to cast. If he plays a 1-drop, I can syncopate it. Doesn't look like that's the case. I'll definitely play Jace, though. Okay, so I'm just gonna plus Jace past turn. That way, if he draws an Ashlet, I don't take full damage, and I can keep up and syncopate and still have an advantage every turn by plussing a Planeswalker. This does let him resolve something where I don't have an answer to it, but I technically still have a Rousarek. Oh, cool, sweet. That card doesn't do anything when I have Jace out. That card also doesn't do anything when I have Jace out. So this Jace is posing a actually pretty major problem for him. I'm just gonna play Rousarek and plus it. Untap my land and tap his mountain. I think I clicked on the wrong guild gate. Oh well. I guess I'll just click on an island next time. That actually hurts me pretty significantly since... Was he going to Dynacharge my Jace? I think he just would have killed me. That's definitely a misplay. I should have killed one of his guys. I forgot about Dynacharge. I'm actually dead on board to this Dynacharge, but he attacked my Jace. I guess he wanted to play around the removal spells I was representing. Or something like that. So I'll just shoot one of his loyalists. I could have syncopated it, but I didn't want to waste a syncopate just to save Jace a couple damage. I'd rather syncopate cards like this. Hopefully I used Jace last turn. Pretty sure I did. Keep forgetting to use Planeswalkers on Mtgo. I appreciate his respect of playing around my counter spell, or my removal spell. It was very generous of him. I'm gonna slam this Aetherling. I don't even need to leave open blue mana specifically to deal with it, to blink it, because red has no answers to it. So tap this, untap this. Oh, I think I know what it was. I tapped my guild gate and untapped his mountain. I think that's what happened. Just gonna gun this down so I can leave open as much mana as possible. +1/+1. Or +1/-1, excuse me. Put him to 9. Leaving open the counterspell. Okay, that doesn't do anything. I'm just gonna charm it. Three to him so he can concede. Okay, he doesn't want to. That's cool. I know mono red has no answers to this. I think I just clicked on the wrong ability. Okay. So this matchup actually gets worse after board for me because I don't have a board for this deck. I have no idea what he'd board in. I guess I'll board in some Visium Mortars instead of these counterfluxes because they'd be pretty awkward if I weren't already ahead. The main deck's Staticasters are very good for me. I think Syncopate's fine. Actually, I'd rather have... I'm not sure. Rakdos Return is actually pretty good that game. I just don't know if that's going to be the norm. I think I'd rather have a third Visium Mortars just for more removal and then sit back on counterspells. I'm going to run out of counterspells. Maybe take out an Aetherling. Nah, they can't deal with Aetherling. Except for the Threaten, I guess, but that just blinks it. I could actually even make it a... If I have enough mana, I can make it a 0/8 or 0/9. And then when they threaten it, they usually have 0 mana left, so... That's pretty much just worse than blinking it, but it's cute. Maybe a Rock Dust Return? I could board in these Woodlock Crawlers, but it's basically just worse than Mizzy Mortars, because it's going to trade 1-for-1, and I don't want it to get threatened or anything like that. Pro Green does not mean anything in this matchup. The bad thing about removal is all of it triggers except for Far and Away, all of it triggers his Reckoner, which is pretty bad for me. I think this is fine though. I'm just going to keep it right here. Yeah. It was really stupid of myself to leave myself open to Dino Charge though. I should have lost that game. He had for some reason attacked Jace instead of me. I'm not sure what his reasoning there was. Maybe he misclicked twice. Okay, my opponent pretty predictably took the play. 2 removal spells, I think I'll just keep it. It sounds pretty greedy to keep, I think, but I'm not afraid of anything. Bring it on, Mr. Mono Red opponent. See, right on time, draw another removal spell. Easy as pie. Chainwalker's pretty annoying. Probably just gonna charm it. Though I'll do it before he attacks. It's the stupid Mtgo that I forgot about last game. I'll do it beginning of combat in case he plays an Ashlet. Actually, I'd still kill it. Rebel Belt Mtgo. Not gonna fall for that twice. See, 2 weeks ago, people were not playing Rebel Belt Mtgo, so I had no reason to suspect that I was about to be completely blown out. I learned my lesson, though. You're not Mtgoing me. I think I'm just gonna Mortars his Chainwalker. Then see what I draw next turn. Because Far and Away is an instant, and it gets useful the more mana I have. Whereas I don't think the overload cost on Mizzy Mortars is going to be that relevant this game. And if it is, I'd have to draw another one, because he'd have to play like 2 more creatures in order for it to be worth it, the overload. Otherwise Far and Away will get his creatures. But Far and Away will kill Boros Reckoner, which Mizzy Mortars I guess also does, but makes me take 4 in the process. Madcap skills, pretty annoying. Pretty vulnerable to Far and Away. Okay, sweet. I'll just ship it. I assume he boarded in. I have actually no idea what he boarded in. I'm gonna play around Skullcrack anyway though, because I think direct damage would be better than like mugging against me. Okay, that's unfortunate. I don't think I'm gonna take 5 just to avoid 2 extra damage. Because if he has a Mtgo here, I go to 3, and then I'm dead to Skullcrack. So I'm just gonna... I should have awaited him in response. What am I doing? I guess I could far it, and then untap and make him discard 3 cards. Sure. I think that's better than awaying a Chainwalker because I take less damage. And this puts him with 0 cards in hand, and I have some pretty live draws against him. But obviously that was a huge misplay on my part. So put him at 0 cards in hand, I just have to deal with these 2 creatures and whatever's on top of his deck. And he had a handful of gas. Oh my gosh. Okay, he drew a mountain, which he kindly showed me by slamming it down. Razorek, that's a pretty good draw. That lets me kill both those creatures. To this Chainwalker, then 3 his Cackler. And hopefully he doesn't draw Zealot. I should have waited on the chain or the charm until beginning of combat. in case he did draw the whatchamacallit. I don't know if this guy's sincere or not. I'll just say thank you. Because I actually just straight neck decked it, and I actually think it's worse than Esper against this matchup. I mean, it's just a point removal deck. Like, Esper's much better against him than I would be. My advantage is Rousarek, and their advantage is Obsidian, Sphinx's Revelation, and Blood Baron. That's pretty annoying. I guess he can attack my Rousarek, and then I have to sacrifice my Rousarek to kill it, which is fairly annoying. I'm probably just gonna tap it, or untap one of my lands or something. Because if he's doing that, he's not doing anything else. And I'm actually in pretty dire straits right now. I don't have any ways to draw cards outside of Jace, the Architect of Thought. He's gonna Mtgo me? Oh, okay, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I got a Dynacharge out of his hand. Just not the ideal use for Syncopate, but it protected my guy, so it's worth. Actually, I should play my spell first. And then I can untap my Staticaster. This is like the sweetest interaction in the deck. Bar none. Though if he has a Belrus Reckoner here, I get crushed pretty hard. Unless I immediately rip far and away. Ooh, that's an extremely good draw. And I'll take the Aetherling, please. I do not need more lands. Thank you. I will untap my island. I'm still dead to like Skullcrack if he warded them in. So I have to be a little aware of that. I have to finish him off. I can't just sit here forever. Plus my walkers. Tap, untap. And then he's dead to Aetherling plus Rousarek in 2 turns. Drew a lot of lands, unfortunately. So yeah, Rakdos Return is not the actual worst when I have no way to gain life, because it prevents a lot of damage in the form of he no longer has cards. Plus Jace. Probably could have. I probably just should have minus Jace there, but I'm playing too cautiously. I can spend colorless mana on this. Except for I just tried to make it unblockable. Okay, take 8. I will tap this and untap my Aetherling. I can take an extra turn in a couple turns. The turn he dies. I still think this matchup's like abysmal, but neither one of us played that well. So there we go. Games of imperfect Magic are often decided by who's the most planeswalkers. Yep. Well, I'm gonna take a minute to see how I board here against Mono Red, because I want to know in case I play Mono Red again. So I really like Rousarek and Jace and its Staticaster. The cards that were fine, Counterflux was fine. Syncopate, I think the sketchier options are Syncopate. I definitely board out Counterflux, like 100% board out Counterflux. That gives me with 2 Mesium Mortars. And then I can board out a Syncopate for the last Mesium Mortars. That leaves me with 2 Syncopates, 2 Rakdos return. I think that's fine. I think that's how I boarded. I think that's how I board again. Okay. I was a little uncertain, but yeah, I like that. I was trying to think of whether I needed to board out or in another Rakdos return, because they were pretty much key in winning both of those games. But yeah, I'm satisfied with this. I'll see y'all in round 2.